Hello everyone, and welcome to the newest edition of your Kingsport Chamber Zone. Award-winning Kingsport. I know even now it's still unbelievable. The award-winning show that's all about your Kingsport Chamber in this great city of Kingsport. I am Bob Figgins with your Kingsport Chamber. She's my good friend, Laura Woods with Eastman, and we're coming to you today from a good friend and supporter of your Kingsport Chamber, this wonderful compounding pharmacy here at Premier Pharmacy.
I guess it was only a matter of time before we introduced, a pharmacy
Yes.
into Kingsport Chamber Zone. We've had an attorney on board for a
That's
while,
right, yes.
and so it's now time that we move to our medicated state here. But Premier Pharmacy is one of the nationally renowned pharmacies. It's known for its cutting-edge technology, its state-of-the-art equipment, and its mission is to be the go-to choice for physicians and for patients when it comes to providing the best health care absolutely possible in the communities that it serves. We will learn more about all of the neat things going on here at Premier when we talk with Bob Harshbarger in just a few minutes.
And speaking of improving healthcare and helping lives, we're going to showcase and profile a wonderful agency in our community, Friends in Need, and its new venture, it's Appalachian Miles for Smiles Mobile Vision and Dental Unit. They are putting healthcare on wheels and taking their great care out in several communities and counties in our area that will provide great vision and dental care to hundreds in need. It's just a wonderful venture.
Cool.
It's a great agency. It helps so many in our region, and we'll tell you all about it when we chat with the Executive Director of Friends in Need, Bruce Seitz.
And then we're going to have an opportunity to introduce you to the newest volunteer leader of your Kingsport Chamber. That is your Kingsport Chamber's Chair, C.G. McCord, also with Eastman Chemical Company. C.G. has been a longtime community volunteer. Many of you all already know her, and we can't wait to hear what she has in store for the Kingsport Chamber and the big plans that she sees this community headed for when we have her on the show.
A great lineup of guests on today's CZ, but before we chat with all of them, let's take a look at your upcoming Kingsport Chamber events.
We are so pleased to be joined by our host today. Bob Harshbarger is a compounding pharmacist here at Premier Pharmacy. And Bob, thank you so much for hosting us, letting us interrupt your day just a little bit to find out more about what's going on here at Premier. We really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.
So Premier Pharmacy, not necessarily new business in Kingsport, but one that some people may not be as familiar with. So talk to us a little bit about what you do here.
Well, we've been in business for over 25 years. We recently just had our 25th anniversary, which was a success. One thing that sets us apart is that we're considered a hybrid pharmacy, meaning that we have our retail section, but we also specialize in customized medications. As you can see from the back, we're not just your normal mom and pop pharmacy.
Right.
So we've been doing, like I said, we've been doing that for a good number of years. It's something that everything that we touch has to have a prescription, so that's probably one of the reasons why it's not as widely known. But once we get the patient-specific prescription, we can make practically anything for them.
So you can make Bob's medicine taste like bubble gum if he wants it.
Absolutely.
Yes, and I prefer it that way, exactly. So, and speaking of patients, you have a number of patients who use Premier Pharmacy. Can patients select the pharmacy in which they get their prescriptions filled?
Absolutely, absolutely. One of the rules for the state of Tennessee is any willing provider. So a patient can actually take the prescription anywhere they desire. One way that we try to set ourselves apart is the fact that we can customize medications. Not everyone can do that. Everyone has the knowledge potentially, but they don't have the equipment or the expertise. And so that's one of the other things that set us apart.
Sure.
And in terms of payment and insurance, do you work with patients who only have insurance, or can you work with patients who do not have insurance?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. One of the great things is we actually have different customized formulations that have been covered on insurances, typically with low preferred generic copays. Now there is a caveat, not every insurance will pay for compounds, but we do our absolute best to get a formula that is covered. If it isn't covered for whatever reason, whether a patient has a high deductible or the insurance just doesn't approve compounds, our goal is to make sure a patient leaves with something. The worst thing to happen is a patient leave with nothing.
Sure.
So we do anything we can to make it as cost effective as possible. even at some instances, if someone is indigent, doesn't have insurance, we practically give it away because that's kind of one of our mottos is they don't leave with nothing.
Sure. And recently, you all received a very prestigious accreditation. So can you tell us what that accreditation is and what it means for your customers?
Absolutely. We recently became in the top 1% of the United States by receiving the PCAB accreditation, which is Pharmacy Compounding Board of Accreditation. So with that being said, we have been tested for quality assurance and then quality control, meaning our products are tested and our policies and our processes are tested. So with that being said, every medication that we utilize has a USP monograph, a certificate of analysis. You can think of it almost like a pedigree when you think of, say, a puppy. You want to make sure that that puppy came from the right source and it's not adulterated or manipulated. So every one of our ingredients that we utilize come from an FDA-approved, DEA-registered manufacturer. And we're actually able to use the raw chemicals or the pure powders in some instances where we can make that customized medication.
Great. And then one of the great things about your business too is that you're very active in the community. You have
Absolutely.
a lot of different projects going on. So can you tell us about those projects as well as some of the marketing activities that you have?
Yes. One of the things that we do on a regular basis is every year we'll go to Washington, D.C. It's called Compounders on Capitol Hill. So for the past 25 years, we've trekked our way up to D.C. to meet with the representatives and the senators that represent our great state of Tennessee, and we fought for the rights of patients, the right of coverage. That's just something that we do on a daily basis anyways, but a lot of times you need to let your representatives know that. Some of the things locally that we've done, we've reached out and we've had a fantastic response with the Creation Kingdom Zoo located, I believe it's in Gate City. We've had a tremendous turnout. We were able to garner tons of food for the Second Harvest Food Bank, which in turn we donated to the Second Harvest Food Bank, and everyone who donated, I believe it was 2 cans, received free admission to Creation Kingdom. So it was a fantastic, it was kind of a win-win for everyone.
Sure.
We've also donated to Goodwill. That's something that we always want to try to give back to our communities. Something that's a little neat that we've started, we've got our Premier Football Player of the Year, which we're really trying to reach out to our youth. So we reached from Southwest Virginia Player of the Year, Northeast Tennessee Player of the Year, and it's something that we've been doing since last year. So this is the 2nd year. So it's just been really special for our local athletes.
Bob can kick a mean field goal. He's done it on a couple of our shows before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so would he
really,
be eligible?
Really depends on the holder, but
Laces out, right?
Yeah.
Just want to make sure my
Yes.
fingers don't get smashed, actually. That's my goal. I don't worry about the laces. I worry about my fingers.
But yeah, as far as with community outreach, we're always looking for someone to help us because we're always wanting to give back. There's a whole host of different things that we've got coming down the pipeline that we're just really looking for supporters and someone we can cling on with and just make it happen.
Sure, sure. Well, and I should also mention you're a member of this year's Leadership Kingsport class, and of course the Kingsport Chamber is very appreciative of Premier Pharmacy's sponsorship of that program as well.
Well, we are, what is it, the best class ever? We can't necessarily say ever because we haven't finished
Haven't
yet.
graduated yet.
Yeah.
That's pending, right? So, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and you got a couple of other classes to contend
That's right.
with in order to take that.
But we do appreciate Premier's support of that and the Kingsport Chamber and all you do in the community. So tell us what the year's been like for you in Leadership Kingsport and why Premier gives back so much to the community.
The one thing that I've learned, because it's funny how everyone, especially the young professionals I've dealt with on a daily basis, it's like every one of those have been in one way or form a part of Leadership Kingsport. And so it just blew my mind that everyone was a part of this special group. And so that kind of piqued my interest, and then I saw a need to help sponsor this because last year we sponsored the trip to Nashville where we got to go to the state capitol, meet some of the representatives there, and it was an eye-opening experience.
Was that because of the weather too?
Yes, the weather kind of took a hold of us, so we got to bond extra special. This year, it's just one thing, and I've made this comment before at an after-hours event, but it's just once again it just blows my mind that a group of people who have come from all walks of life, who've met each other maybe for a couple hours beforehand, could bond so quickly. And it's just that camaraderie that Leadership Kingsport brings. And the fact that we're learning about our city, the importance of the history, where we are, where we're going, that's what really, I guess, drives me and what fascinates me the most.
Sure, sure. So, Bob, if people want more information about Premier, find out all the services that you offer, your hours of operation, anything like that, what's the best way to get that?
Best way, of course, you can stop by. We have a drive-through, of course. You can drop by. But the best way is more than likely going to be through the web. So it's www.rxpremier.com.
Okay.
You can find us on Facebook, like us on Facebook. You get, we try not to update all the time to,
Fill up
get your
the
news
timeline
feed.
and everything,
Exactly.
yeah.
But we will try to, let you know what we're doing in the community, some of the updates on different medications. So it's all, pertinent to what your daily life is.
That's great.
And you are here on Jack White Drive in Kingsport. So you mentioned your
Absolutely,
location.
absolutely.
Yep.
109 Jack White Drive, right between the O'Charlie's and the Cheddar restaurants. You can't miss it.
That's right. Well, Bob Harshbarger with Premier Pharmacy, thanks for hosting your CZ today, and thanks for all you and Premier do in this community. It's greatly
my
appreciated.
Thank you, Bob. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Stay tuned, because when we come back, we're going to tell you about Appalachian Miles for Smiles and how you can help right after this.
Get your tickets today for the 69th Annual Kingsport Chamber Dinner. Call 392-8800 or go online to kingsportchamber.org. Brought to you by these fine sponsors.
And welcome back to your Kingsport Chamber Zone on location from Premier Pharmacy here on Jack White Drive in Kingsport.
One of the cool things about our community is that we have so many wonderful organizations that help serve the people that are uninsured, that are working, and just for whatever reason, though, they aren't able to get that health insurance that they need. And one of those organizations is Friends in Need. Here now to tell us more about this organization is Bruce Seitz, the Executive Director of Friends in Need, and more importantly, about a new partnership that this organization has with the United Way of Greater Kingsport that has provided a mobile dental and vision unit called Appalachian Miles for Smiles. So Bruce, first, thanks for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me. It's nice to be here.
We love Friends in Need. It's such a wonderful organization, and it provides such great service here in the community. So tell our viewers a little bit about what you all do.
Well, Friends in Need really is an incredible community asset. And we deliver 4,000 patient encounters annually.
Wow.
That's encounter with a physician, a nurse practitioner, a dentist, or a dental hygienist. And over a 20-year period of time, we've delivered service in the area to over 95,000 patient encounters.
Amazing.
And if you value this on a commercial basis, it's probably in excess of $20 million that Friends in Need has provided in health and dental services to the community. And we do this on a sliding fee scale basis, which we're providing, as you said, to the working uninsured. During 2015, 72% of the patients we've seen paid less than 30% of our costs,
Wow.
which means that we have to go out and raise 70% of every patient visit through donations, grants, fundraisers, and other things.
And your service area includes Sullivan Hawkins in Tennessee.
The service area for Friends in Need is Sullivan, Hawkins, and Scott County, Virginia. We provide service to, they say, the working uninsured. We're trying to give everybody a hands up rather than a handout. And we also provide care for people over 18 years of age, because the people in Tennessee under 18 are covered.
Sure.
So we're 18 and up. And we also provide care to people on Social Security disability.
That's great.
So for people watching at home, then who can use Friends in Need?
Anybody, any resident of Sullivan, Hawkins, and Scott County, Virginia, over 18 years of age,
okay.
that someone in the household that they live is working 20 hours a week, and, of course, the Social Security disability people.
Okay. Of course, a new project you've just started, which is very exciting, is your Appalachian Miles for Smiles mobile vision and dental unit, where you're taking your great care now on the road to people in need. Tell us about this great
Well,
service.
we're really excited about
Yeah.
this, and I really have to tell you about the enormous collaborative effort that made this possible. The idea began with Frank Waldo, who is a RAM volunteer, who at the end of the RAM event seen all these people who had been standing in line for all weekend and still didn't receive dental care. So he said, I've got to find a way to make this better so that we can serve all the people that show up. At the same time, United Way was considering how do they provide affordable dental care to the enormous need we have in the region for dental care. The two forces came together in conjunction with RAM, United Way, local businesses, civic clubs, and individuals, and now we have a unit that really is ready to go. So we're excited about that. The unit is a 53-foot air ride trailer, brand new, provided by Land Air Corporation in Greenville. And it will be equipped like a regular dental office. It'll have 5 regular dental chairs. It'll have digital x-ray technology. We'll have our own power generator. We'll have our own air compressor, our own suction unit, our own sterilization unit. So we can pull into any remote area and be operational in 30 minutes.
So where do you plan on traveling with this mobile unit?
Well, first of all, we're going to provide care to every major RAM event in East Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. In addition to that, we will do 12 to 15 mini RAM events, we're calling, where area's too small for a major RAM event. And that'll be in the region of initially Sullivan, Hawkins, and Scott County. And when we become more efficient, then we'll expand that. But we don't want to overdo our,
Sure.
till we learn how to do this and get it
Sure.
going. So that's going to be our initial geographic area.
And then how, if people want to take advantage of these services that you offer, whether it is the mobile unit or Friends in Need, the standalone clinic, how do they do that?
Well, we have a website. It's www.friendsinneed.org.
Okay.
There's always instructions on there how to get in touch with us. They can always call 246-0010. I'm available, or you can send me an email at brucesites@finhc.org, and someone will get back to you. We welcome all kinds of volunteers. Of course, we're looking for professionals, doctors and nurses and dentists,
Sure.
dental hygienists and dental assistants, both for Friends in Need and for the dental clinic. Of course, we need support people as well.
Right. How do people do that?
Well, same way.
Okay.
Get in touch with us through the website or call us or send us an email and we'll get back in touch with them.
Okay.
So we need clerical people, support people. We're going to need people to set up the dental trailer, to do maintenance work on it. We'll also be needing drivers to drive the tractor to pull this. So there's enormous need for people. And this is going to be all volunteers, and it's going to be no charge to all people will come, no charge. Friends in Need is sliding fee scale, but this AMS unit will be no charge. We'll take all age groups from 0 up, and it'll all be done on volunteer basis.
That's great. And I guess you can always use donations in the monetary form as well, right?
Well, we always like to have donations. As I told you before, we have to raise 70% of the budget, but in terms of the Appalachian Miles for Smiles, we'll be raising 100% of this budget.
Okay.
We'll have a local manager that, in all likelihood, will be working out of Friends in Need. And for local control, this unit will remain in the area permanently, so it's a permanent asset. It will be owned by RAM, but it'll be operated likely by Friends in Need.
That's great.
And so this is the pilot unit for RAM. RAM's Appalachian Healthcare Initiative, where if this works, and I'm sure it will, then they want to replicate that all the way up Appalachia.
That's
So
great.
so we start to dealing with this enormous dental problem we have in Appalachia.
That's wonderful.
Bruce, remind us again, if people want to volunteer, if they want to make a donation, or more importantly, if those people out there who want to use Friends in Need or your Appalachian Miles for Smiles, where they can find you.
Well, first of all, contact our website, www.friendsinneed.org. If that doesn't work, call us at 246-0010. You can always get someone. We're open Monday through Thursday and sometimes on Friday, 8 till 5. So someone will be there. And when we get the mobile dental trailer set up, we'll have a separate phone to call. We'll publicize each outing in advance. And different from RAM events, each individual will be given a 2-hour appointment.
Oh, wow.
So we won't have to provide food facilities, we won't have to provide porta potties and all those kind of things. And we'll have someone coordinate. Then what I envision what we'll do is provide care to the first call, first serve till we get filled up, then we'll go to another location.
That's great.
It's just absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Bruce Sykes with Friends in Need, thank you for being with us today, and thank you for all this great care you're providing to
Well,
those in
thank
need
you.
in our
There is a
community.
little bit of statistic that everybody needs to know. If we were to buy one of these units commercially, it would be in excess of $500,000. We're going to be able to put this together through local efforts for less than $150,000.
It's wonderful.
That's
So
incredible.
It says something about the volunteer
Yes,
spirit
it
of
does.
Kingsport.
Absolutely.
Yes, it does. Well
Absolutely.
said.
Thank you so much, Bruce. We
Okay.
appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks,
you very
Bruce.
Speaking of the volunteer effort here in Kingsport, when we come back, we're going to have your new volunteer leader of your Kingsport Chamber right after this from your CZ at Premier Pharmacy.
Get your tickets today for the 69th Annual Kingsport Chamber Dinner. Call 392-8800 or go online to kingsportchamber.org. Brought to you by these fine sponsors.
And welcome back to this edition of your Kingsport Chamber Zone on location from Premier Pharmacy.
And I have to be on my best behavior now because the boss is here.
Yes.
We're so happy to introduce you to the new board chair of your Kingsport Chamber and a good friend of ours, C.G. McCord. C.G. is the Global Public and Community Affairs Director with Eastman, and she, along with her husband Jeff, are also the co-chairs of Kingsport Centennial Celebration. Now, if I also mentioned everything else C.G. was involved with and her leadership roles in the community would take the rest of the show. So we'll just get to chatting with her. C.G., it's good to see you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thanks for having me today.
Okay. Now, you are the 71st chair of your Kingsport Chamber, following in the footsteps of your father, Mike O'Neill, who served in that role in 1995. So what does this honor mean to you?
Well, it's very humbling when I think about all the things the Chamber has done and meant to our community over the years. It's really humbling, and to have the opportunity to work with the volunteers and the staff and the broader community is just really exciting. I'm looking forward to the year ahead.
Well, and the Chamber is very fortunate to have someone like you in that position
Well,
too. And
thanks.
you're coming in at a wonderful time.
Yes.
We've had just a great year previously. It looks like we're headed for another wonderful year too. So what do you see ahead for the Chamber?
Well, we're excited. We've got some new board members, and we've got new initiatives. We'll continue to work with the programs of the Chamber and the broader community in our partnerships. The Kingsport Convention and Visitors Bureau does an excellent job. Continue to try to recruit new meetings, new tournaments, new business to the area, and continue to work to support our small businesses and encourage folks to buy local and support local.
Right.
And now, CG, anyone who knows you always come to the table with a lot of big plans and a lot of great creative ideas. So any new big ideas on the horizon for 2016?
Gosh, as a community, I think we've got some great ideas, and the Chamber will be heavily involved with that, with the One Kingsport campaign and the task forces that are currently working at looking at different focus areas. There's so many exciting ideas, and so trying to narrow our focus and figure out exactly where we want to focus first is going to be what's so exciting happening this year.
Well, and with that mention of One Kingsport, it's a really important campaign for us. It's a great vision. It's a great idea. So what do you see it meaning for the community?
Well, I think it's one way that people that want to be involved, that have not been able to be involved, can get involved, can get engaged. We welcome anyone that wants to participate. I think for a community, setting that vision and working towards common goals is so important. And our community has done that so well over the years. That, you know, think about the visioning process that took place in '99 and all of the accomplishments that came out of that.
Sure.
And I'm just so excited to think about all the good things that have come out of this one.
And speaking of the community working together and all the good things ahead, as I mentioned earlier, you and your husband Jeff are the co-chairs of the Kingsport Centennial Celebration, which will take place next year in 2017. So give us a little glimpse, a little sneak peek in what we can expect that year.
We have got a great commission that was appointed by former Mayor Dennis Phillips, and he is also one of the co-chairs, along with Bonnie McDonald, who leads our Cultural Arts Division for the city. A lot of good plans, but the most important thing is we're going to integrate the Centennial into things that already happen in our community. So we're finding ways to do that, and then people can enter their own events. So you can come up with your own celebration idea, your own event that ties in with the Centennial. So we are going to party all year long in 2017.
What's the Kingsport Chamber's own event for 2017?
We're
Do
just
we have
hoping we
one?
make it till then. That's what we'll celebrate if we're still on air about it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, the Centennial, it's going to be a huge event, and the Kingsport Chamber, like so many other things in our community, will have a huge role in that event too. You know, I'm a huge fan of the chamber. I know that you're a huge
Yes.
fan of the chamber too. So if you were talking to somebody who wasn't familiar with our chamber, what would be the reasons you would give them for why they should join and why the chamber is important to our community?
Well, when you walk into the chamber, the first thing, it is very welcoming. And you'll find that from the reception area to every staff person you meet. And the energy is just so positive. It's a happy place to work. It's a happy place to volunteer. I would encourage them to go down, get to meet the staff, get to meet the other volunteers, and they are going to fall in love with it. And if you haven't had a chance, if you're new to the community or want to get involved in the community, the chamber is a great place to start. And you can get plugged into other nonprofits if your interests don't line a specific program the chamber has. I'd be surprised if it doesn't, but lots of good networking opportunities.
Sure. See, everybody, when we tell you that they're social and they want you to check them out and come visit them, we mean it.
We actually mean
We
that,
mean
yes.
that.
Well, CG, we're so excited that you're the chair of the Kingsport Chamber this year. You've been involved in this organization and in the community for so many years. So any final thoughts as you embark on your year as chair?
Well, we thank our sponsors like Premier Pharmacy today. They do such a great job in our community. And we just encourage businesses that aren't involved to take a look at the chamber. We want to continue to support and grow our businesses. So looking forward to a good 2016.
It's going to be wonderful, especially with you at the helm. So CG
Thanks.
McCord with Eastman Chemical Company, thank you so much. Thank you for your leadership at the chamber. We really appreciate
Thank
it.
you again for having me today.
Okay, thanks,
Absolutely.
CG. And there's more of your Kingsport Chamber Zone from Premier Pharmacy right after this.
Get your tickets today for the 69th Annual Kingsport Chamber Dinner. Call 392-8800 or go online to kingsportchamber.org. Brought to you by these fine sponsors.
Well, after 13 seasons and 292 episodes, we finally come to perfect backdrop. I don't know if it's for our show or for the host of the show, but welcome to the pain relief of the sleepy story debate section here at the Kingsport Chamber Zone. We finally found what all of our guests have been needing all
There
this
was
time.
just no decision that needed to be made whenever we were picking this
And now we have something for our viewers, so there you go. So we do want to thank the great and fabulous team here at Premier Pharmacy for hosting your CZ today, and as always, the great team at Spectral Reach for putting up with us and producing this show.
They are the ones who need the pain
Yes.
and the signs. We also want to remind you to find out what's going on in Kingsport. Of course, we invite you to watch us here on You can also find out what's happening at the chamber by following them on Facebook. You can follow them on Twitter and like them on Facebook. You can pay them a visit. They are located at 400 Kingsport Street, or give them a call, 392-8800. They're social, and they'd love for you to be social with them as well.
And because of the recent snow, we've had a little juggling of the schedules. We're going to reschedule your Kingsport Chamber's Regional Legislative Breakfast, which is co-hosted by the Bristol and Johnson City Chambers of Commerce. That event will be Friday, February the 12th at 7:30 a.m. at the Meadowview Marriott. To get your tickets, just call 392-8800. And until our next visit together on your CZ, we are Bob and Lauren, reminding you to please be loyal
And buy local. Sleep tight. Have a great week.